what's crapping, everybody? How's everybody doing today? We made it to a Sunday. Woo! We did it. We survived this whole week. We're here. That's right. It's a good time. I see a lot of people have been streaming today. It's like everybody that Bob was out there streaming, and I'm here with Frederic. Hi.
Yeah. What's
It's our
up with
first
that?
time chatting.
Yeah, nice to see you. We've talked a little bit, but the first time live. So nice to see you. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you, Mademoiselle K-pop junkie.
Hi. That's right.
Did you have a K-pop channel before you were talking comics, or where does that come from?
It's the first name I ever made online.
It makes sense.
And I kept it to troll people. And I'm still trolling people with it because I think I'm absolutely obsessed with K-pop, and I haven't really been since the 90s. But I like it because I force comic people to talk about K-pop.
Yeah, I just
started.
I just made a K-pop list this past couple of months. I got like wound up in that movie that came out, the K-pop Demon Hunter stuff.
Yes.
Everyone was talking about that, and I was like, this is totally not the movie for me, right? It's totally not. I'm not the demographics. I've never listened to K-pop, but everyone was not shutting up about it. So I was like, okay, well, let me just watch it and make my mind up on it. And I'm definitely not the demographic, but I was like watching it and going, this is actually well written. Like the character's motivation is clear, the obstacles, the whole journey thing. So I was just like, as a writer, kind of going, okay, they're hitting all the marks. I'm like getting pulled into the story despite not it being my thing. And I came out of it going, oh, let me see what's on YouTube for K-pop stuff, and started building a playlist. Now that's what I listen to in the car. So go figure.
Ha! Another one. That's right. No, I've been a fan since the 90s, the K-pops, but that's how I got my name. So people think it's funny because they think it means something completely different. I'm like, no, it's K-pop.
Well, I like that they're ripping off. They're kind of like ripping off a lot of successful hits from the 90s, the 2000s, all that. Like I listen to some songs and it's like, that's totally a rip off of Snoop Dogg. Like that's his sound. They're rapping like they're black girls and they're dancing like they're Japanese. It's like, it's so strange. It's fascinating to me. I can't look away yet, mesmerized.
If you go back into the history of K-pop before they had all these gens and whatever, 90s to like 2000s was very space pop dance mix, and then there was a lot of like weird like rapping groups and stuff together, but it was very much dance, like a space dance section, and then like kind of evolved from there, like going on. But yeah, that's kind of where I went back to right now. That's kind of like what the jams that I'm jamming to right now is just 90s weird Korean dance pop.
Was it always super corporate, super choreographed? Was that always kind of a thing?
No. If you go back and watch the old stuff, they're just dumb videos and people just whatever. And there's a couple groups that would come in and try to do the dance. It wasn't like super dancey, but yeah, it was just like random. Most of the videos back in the day used to be like movies, like the whole entire, like a whole like mini movie in a video. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was just most random stuff back then.
That's the thing that stood out to me the most with the Demon Hunter movie is when they have this big battle in the train section. The whole battle is filmed like a video.
Okay.
Like they got choreography, and I was like, this is cool. Like I've never seen like an action movie adventure thing that's kind of scripted like a video, where you got this, imaginary drone camera going around them, zooming, and then them doing the choreography as they're fighting and all that. I was like, now that's cool. Now that is something.
Well, that's very martial arts movie. A lot of martial arts movies do that. Well, they'll like go zoom in and out and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like the fan cams, I guess they have now, is when they do that for like getting it on the people. So it's probably where they got like that kind of idea from.
Yeah. That looks cool. You can always get some inspiration from that.
Oh, there's a lot of things you can get inspiration from. Like I'm like really big into martial arts movies, and I know I talked about that the last couple times I had people on because big good influence on all that stuff. But I like to see that in comics too because I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have like, especially I'm doing a superhero story, so there's half the comic has to be like fights and action, right? That's the whole freaking point of it.
You gotta have fun with it, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just have people like in coffee shops talking about what they put in their lattes and what they did last night and all that.
No,
you can have one page, fine, But that's the setup for the supervillain to come crashing into the coffee shop and blow.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with movies and media of any kind. Like they've been around 100 some plus years. Like you got to find out what's going to be different and interesting for your book, especially like the fight scenes. If you're going to have a fight scene in a comic, you better make that look realistic, and you better try to branch out and figure out what's happening with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm very much a big fan of martial arts comics too.
I went the way of the traditional superhero in the alleyway fight. That is. First of all, it's a big superhero trope, climbing the fire escape, getting inside one of the apartments along the way, making the way up to the top of the building. Now, there's things that make it different, of course, put my own sauce on top of it. But I love those superhero tropes. I love digging back into that old stuff that makes superhero stories great, and then modernizing it and making it feel like this could not be made in any other time than now. I mean, my story takes place in 2023, so like 3 years ago.
Okay.
But like you could not have done that like 10 years prior. Like it's very much set in its time period. And I think that's one of the things people like about it. So I'm proud of that.
That's awesome. Yes, your book is set in the mean streets of the Montreal.
Yes, it's a fictitious city where French people walk the streets. And it's an island in Canada, a dystopian country where the whole culture is falling apart, totally fictitious, nothing to do with reality at all.
No, not at all. No.
And Montreal's a great city. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to visit, but
I have not, but it's gorgeous. Yeah,
it is. And I've lived there for 8 years, and you can actually like live part of the year without ever going above ground. Like there is a whole underground city with shopping malls locked to each other, and you can go through metros, which are subways, which are connected to the whole city. So when it's really freezing cold outside, as long as you can get your way inside underground, you could spend the rest of the day completely walking around buildings and malls and stuff, completely underground.
That's amazing. That's fun.
Pretty cool. It's very different from New York. I love New York. I've visited many, many times because it's like a 6-hour drive from Montreal. It's like really close. I hear New Yorkers come and buy their bagels from Montreal, and then they sell them on the street in New York. So, great bagels.
Yeah, that's pretty close because I could literally throw a rock and hit Ontario. That's how close I am.
Yeah. You probably should. You probably should be throwing rocks at Ontario.
I may or may not have done that.
I mean, we meet at Niagara Falls, right? Niagara Falls. It's on one side, it's the United States.
Yeah, very true.
On the other side is Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever go to Niagara Falls, go to the Canada side because that's the most exciting part.
Really? I did not know. Yeah. Well, I hear it's just Indians now. So.
Oh no, you've got like casino, you've got like the tower, you've got all of the food vendor stuff. Without it's like nothing on the other side.
Yeah, but you can't even like go in a barrel down the falls anymore. Like
that's unfortunate because that's why I think most people go there.
Yeah. What else is there?
No, listen, you got the boat that's at the bottom, and then you just got like water.
And there is there still an electrical station down there? Because that used to be an electrical station.
The Tesla
still is. Yeah, Tesla came in and set up. Nikola Tesla came in and set up the.
They have like a whole Tesla museum thing over there, like right off the water. So they're still functioning.
Oh, I got to see that because I went to Long Island to see where Tesla was living, and it's where he used to have his whole what's it called, Winden Cliffs, some name that you can't remember or pronounce, but he had built his laboratory there in Long Island, had a huge tower which would get wireless electricity, and he had channels underground. They call them channels. So basically the tower had roots underground. There was something about differentiation between the ground and the sky that would pull kind of electricity out of the ether. And so once he died, or before he died, I think the whole land was sold to a Kodak company, some film company. They bought it. They were building film there for the longest time, and they built a couple of other buildings there. And then it was bought off recently. When I say recently, maybe 10 years ago, something like that. And now they're turning it into a Tesla museum on Long Island. So I was there visiting before. It's not a museum yet. Go away, cat. It wasn't, they hadn't set it up yet, but they had bought it. And
cool.
Me and a friend went to look through the fence at what it looked like. And there's like deer walking around there. Like it's
cool.
close to the wilderness. And we had met some of the people who had bought the land, and we just like talked to them about it. And like, yeah, we're going to, rebuild this. And we have all the old buildings and we're going to renovate them. And I don't think they're going to rebuild the whole tower and stuff like that. I don't know how far they're going to go with it, but they say the channels underground are still there. Like some of them go past the property and go underneath like fire station and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, we have the Henry Ford estate not too far from here next to the Henry Ford Greenfield Village Museum. And I don't think people realize like most of like the Underground Railroad and would go all the way up into here. So there's houses that have connections that go down to the railroad, but they were using those back in like the 20s and 30s for like prohibition. So like the gangsters took them over. So like all the housing, it's like all historic over in this area where you could go and look at stuff. It's quite fascinating. Like all of this historic fun stuff.
Yeah, bootlegging.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah. Here, let's do this. It's all about you today. That's me. We don't see my face. We're gonna go over here. Oh shit! I hit a button. I hit it when you do that. You got to go move it, and then it makes me all takes over my screen. There we go. Let's do some introductions. Let the people know, who are you? What do you do? Why?
Yes, so I live in Canada. I've got a particularly strange background. Like I was born outside the country. I was born in Germany, but from Canadian parents. So I'm like French Canadian by, heritage. And I just always loved comic books. Grew up reading bande dessinée and American comics that were translated into French when I was a young kid. Because contrary, I think this is a little bit what's different with the American culture with comics and the French culture is French culture kind of see comics with the same dignity and respect that they do with literature and novels, right? So my parents, everyone has like books in their library at home, and they have like a bande dessinée comic book section, and it's part of the culture and all that. And so grew up with a whole bunch of Tintins, Asterisk, Lucky Luke, and a few of the Marvel stuff that was translated as well. And I loved all that stuff, obviously read the whole thing, everything I could get my hands on. But like American comics was always what I loved because they had the craziest, most outlandish stuff. They broke the rules. They made the most interesting visuals, pages, because the Europeans, like they draw better. They're traditionally trained. Like if I need someone to draw a horse, I would go to a European before an American. But if I want the horse to jump out of the page and like scare the living shit out of you, whatever, I would go to an American because the Americans are way more dynamic. They'll be creative in ways like Europeans used to be much more traditional. And if you look at their old stuff, even the paneling is very, very straight. Like a lot of times they would do their pages on two different artboards, like the top and the bottom would be two different artboards. So they have two strips. So you can't even do a full vertical panel. You can't do...
Big fan of the European style of comics.
Yeah.
I love their formatting. I love their books. I like that kind of format. I like to see more and more people are coming into that style, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Very neat. But I've also been talking to I talked to a lot of overseas people, like people from Italy, from Greece, all up in there, like UK, Ireland. It's really interesting to see like different countries really getting involved into comics and how they go about formatting and how their printers work, which I think is absolutely fascinating because there's more and more countries, especially in Europe and Asia now, that are getting like actual Comic Cons. And I think it's just so neat to see comics like go like super worldwide, because a lot of people, they know like the main guys from Marvel, DC, but there's so many amazing indie comics from all over Europe, Asia. It's fantastic. Australia has got a huge indie comic section. What's up, Jason?
Yeah,
welcome on it. But yeah.
And so when I was younger, like in my 20s, I lived in Montreal for about 8 years, and Montreal's got this whole underground scene of like indie comics as well. very much like a lot of them are produced in bars or like people living off like selling weed and then staying home and drawing comics all day. So there's this whole subculture that feels very close to the punk scene, the music scene, and it's very different from, because like our most famous comic book creator in Quebec is an underground indie artist called Julie Doucette. And her book Dirty Plot, which if you knew what that was, I wouldn't be allowed to say it on YouTube, but since it's French, it's fine. But it's an autobiographical book about her story, and it's one of the early autobiographical indie books, which became a whole movement with R. Crumb and those people as well. So it became the whole self-referential honesty, truth, with putting the kind of microscope, pointing it at your own life and showing all your flaws, and very autobiographical, which was different from all the, adventures and fantastical stories and idealized characters that we're used to with superheroes and those adventure stories and stuff. And the graphical aspect to it was so different.
It's unique. Yeah,
fat lines, like the outlines would be.
They're chunky. They're very gritty. They're like, if you guys don't know, if you guys haven't been really into like 60s to 70s, especially the underground movement in comics, so fascinating. There's some interesting style of art going on in there. There's like just the stories are phenomenal. You got the fabulous Freak Bros. You got the cat books. You got it's all interesting. It all kind of meshes to like a boxy kind of style as well. It's amazing. Then I also like books that like really get into like the punk section of like zines based.
Yeah.
As well, like which just fascinating to me. And I know there's a lot of people that are coming back around now to try to bring that back into because I like that kind of stuff. Anytime I'm out and I go through bins, like that's the kind of stuff I like hunting for when I see stuff.
Well, it's because they're thinking outside the box, right? And all those underground comics I was telling you about, they were all zines, right? They were all published in zine formats.
Yeah.
And like coming from a American comic kind of mindset, like I don't even question the format, right? 6 and something inches by 10.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking about what do I put in it? But the zine space is like, no, I want a vertical zine. I want a square format. I want like horizontal.
Yeah. Oh, like they'll do the fold out ones too. Like they just fold their paper and then you unfold it and then that's your comic, or they flip it somehow style, then you flip it the other way and then you get chapter 2 on the other side. But people were getting super creative. Yeah. I love that like at home style made comic book. Which is
it's because you never know. You're always surprised. There's always something creative and beautiful, and it's like the medium is the message, as Marshall McLuhan used to say, another Canadian. And they're actually using everything they got at their disposal, because the comic book artists in the Marvel DC space, they're just like a cog in the machine. They only have power over their pencil and their page. They have no say in the format, the size, all that stuff. Whereas when you're an indie zine creator, like it's whatever's at your disposal, right? Is the photocopy machine? Do you have access to a print shop? Are you a university student? Can you do like a silk screen prints, stuff like that? I used to do hand done prints.
Oh, those are fascinating. I don't think people like you do the poster aspect of it, but if you get into really like history of like the woodblock prints and like all, it's just fascinating stuff. Like there's a few people at Motor City Comic Con I buy from all the time. The guy hand prints his own books on computer paper. It's all folded up however he folds it. He charges $1. He's like, this is my book. He doesn't want to go to a printer. I support that every single time I run into it because the stories are just so unique. They're so weird. They're just, I love it. That's my kind of thing. I like all the weird things. Like, let's go. Bring me that. And
and
this is true because sometimes you run into them and you get like the super tiny, like you know how you used to get the He-Man comics.
I think that was some of my first comics. I had all those were so gorgeous, man. It was like Frank Frazetta level art, and He-Man. He didn't have like no freaking pink shirt to disguise himself. Like he was a full-on Conan copy back then.
Yeah,
and that was something else. I've seen some omnibuses of all those old Conan books kind of put together. You can still find them. Yeah. I always just remember we grew up having such amazing art. Like every time they dumb down stuff for kids, oh, it doesn't have to be that good. It's just for kids.
Oh,
I
yes.
cringe when I hear people say that because
No.
even though you haven't seen all the best stuff as a child, you can still know the difference between something that's
Oh,
beautiful, that's awesome, that's well done, and you learn from it as
big
well. Like,
time.
yeah, don't
Oh,
dumb stuff.
that's how I got into art when I was young, is because I would get the children's books. The illustrators that they had back in the day, 60s, 70s, 80s, some of these people went on to do comic art. They were hugely influential in the comic scene. When you go back, like, listen, the early like 1800s to like the 1930s, some of those artists, those illustrators were absolutely phenomenal. Arthur Rockham is probably one of my favorite illustrators of all time. He has some of the most gorgeous artwork, and people back then did full on paintings for children's books. And then
Yeah,
it's so interesting to me too, because like the same thing like happens in games. Like they go, "Oh, it's for a kid. We're gonna dumb it down like in a game. We're gonna make it like no, we want that challenge. That's how we learn how to overcome crazy stuff." But I want to open up a children's book and look at fabulous artwork. I miss those pages that were just nothing but absolutely painted from front to cover. Those are amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the first things I learned. Like, and I learned this from a freaking Garfield book. Go figure. But I used to read Garfield because it's funny, and I was
Yeah.
just learning English as well. So French is my first language. And at the back of one of those books, you'd had just a little word about Jim Davis saying, like, I draw funny books with, cartoon cats, but if you want to do this journey, you should learn how to draw realistically. Like you should learn, even if you want to do cartoon cats, learn how to draw anatomy, learn how to draw real things because
Mhm.
it'll come in handy. It'll be helpful. You'll draw better, even if you're just drawing simple cartoons. And that always stuck with me. And I was like, okay, I'm on my journey now. I know what I got to do. I got to learn how to, bring on those anatomy books, bring on those proportions. Let me, do the homework and learn the stuff. And then it became a journey of crafting, getting better at your craft and learning the skills. And because it's just a ton of skills, which is fascinating because on one end, you don't even need to be good at art to make comics. Like there's people online, XKCD, it's just stick figures. And it's
Yeah.
some of the most beloved cartoons on the internet. And
Oh
they're
yeah.
comics, like they're 3 panels, I think, most of the time. And he makes nerd jokes, right? A lot of graphs and
Yeah.
references to math and stuff like that. But it goes to show you, you don't need any drawing skills at all to make a comic. If you have something to say, you can do it. That being said, you can improve your craft almost infinitely from there. Like you can learn how
Oh
to
yeah.
draw infinitely better, and then you can go into all the art styles. And then you can go to surreal stuff. You can go into hyper realism. You can go to fantasy,
Hmm.
beefed up superheroes, all that jazz.
Yeah.
It's such a wide range of possibilities.
Yes, and I want to bring this up too. Some of the artwork, when you see the original Archie books, especially going up into the 80s, I was huge. This is some of my original books that I used to read all the time. The She-Ra books and the Barbie books. Like, I don't think people understand the art that is in those is absolutely phenomenal. Yes, it's a kid's book, but I don't think people realize the history of the artists that are in those that have done so many amazing things with comics. The art is just amazing. Go check it out. Sheldon popping in here. Fred can speak French, like real French or Canadian French. Just kidding.
Very funny, Sheldon.
Also, is your comic also in French? Oh, that's a good
Mm,
question. That's a good
No, not
question.
yet. Because I mean, the larger, because I'm selling them online right through
Uh,
Twitter and YouTube. So the market in which it's happening is in English. If I sold them in French,
okay.
I'd sell probably maybe 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And I did to sell to French readers, and they're all asking the same thing: when can we get the French translation? So eventually, I will translate it. I mean, if everything goes well, because I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. Because as long as you got all the lettering's done in digital files, so all you got to do is translate in the lettering file, readjust the balloons a little bit because French is a little bit longer than English, so you have a little bit more dialogue. But yeah, that's totally doable.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Shelby be popping in here. Oh, Sheldon says he'll buy one in French too. Nice. See, I think this is quite interesting because there's a whole bunch of people that I know that are either getting the trades done or they're doing something in a different language once they get the hard cutter or a volume together, which I think is awesome. Like if you're able to branch out and get to different languages, like that's the whole point of you getting your stuff out there is getting people all around the world to watch your stuff.
Yeah.
I want to highlight this for this guy.
Yeah. And I talk to people about bande dessinée a lot, and people don't know anything about it, and it's such a shame. Like there's so much beautiful stuff that would get bought here in the US. It's just not translated. It's like they don't talk to each other.
Yeah,
we got tons of mangas coming over here translated into English, and they sell like crazy, and there's this whole market of stuff happening from Belgium and France and Europe. It doesn't reach over. You got a couple here, so I got this one, like the Meta Barons. People will know the Meta Barons. I think these have been translated. And this is like by art by Travis Charest, who used to do Wildcats. Like he used to be
Travis Charest,
right? And so I think he's probably French Canadian from the name. I would think so. So he's out there in the European market as well as in the American market. So he can go to both. But a lot of the good, there's so many beautiful things.
He doesn't
make its way here.
He does. Okay, some of his format of books are that French format where it's like the landscape style and giant oversized hardcover stuff.
Yep.
It is so you can't even get that stuff over here. If you try to go purchase it over there, it's like $300+. It's insane. But the quality and the artwork that is in those is just so fantastic. That is just something to me that really stands out in some stuff. And then we got more people popping in here. Shelby saying Earl Norham is one of his favorite kid book favorites. It's my favorite kids book painter. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about because I have a whole ton of like the She-Ra. I have a whole ton of like the Barbie books from back in the day. The art in those is just super amazing. You gotta check that out. Also, yes, all of the old classic Gold Key Dell books, any of that stuff has some of the most amazing stuff in it. There are like the movie illustrated versions, like you could get in Dells and the Gold Keys for stuff, and the Frankenstein comics, like the old Boris Karloff books, are some of the most amazing stuff you ever see. It's all fully hand painted. They're so good. Like,
yeah, there's a new Frankenstein book that we covered. I got my own show here on YouTube, and we looked at it, and it's approved by the Boris Karloff Foundation and all that, and Mary Shelley, of course. And it's so good. It's all black and white, and they use the Boris Karloff look, and it's so freaking good. I'm waiting for the price to drop on Amazon. It's like $40 Canadian.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. Super big fan of that.
Gorgeous. Oh, you're gonna want to pick it up. The backgrounds are beautiful. Everything looks exactly as you would expect it to look, and it's just great panels. Very non-standard a little bit. Like you gotta. It's a dynamic. It's a really fun read, and it's so realistic. Like the characters are really drawn in a fun way.
See, I love all that stuff. Let's see. Tate says you don't read or speak French, but you would buy one of those because yes, it's also interesting too. When you go and look up foreign edition of comics, it is so fascinating to see. Like if you go pick up like older versions of books, but they're foreign editions, they're international stuff. The artwork on those covers is so phenomenal. Like you won't even see those. Like even like the way that the trade dress is done in like a different language is just something so amazingly artistic about it that just flows with it. And like international copies of books have been getting really, really popular over the last couple of years. Like people only collect those because sometimes they have different stories, like the Mexican version of Gwen Stacy. Like there's different stories that they go a whole totally different timeline.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Things happen. Yeah,
that's fascinating to me.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Yeah, see. Oh, man. See, everybody is chatting in chat. I love this. Let's see. Travis grew up in a French farm. Listen, probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
What's up, Tank? Let's go, guys. I see a bunch of people just popping in here. Thank you very much for dropping the links. Yes, you also have a YouTube channel. You were just talking about that. So yeah,
I got a show on Tuesdays, and I draw live on screen, and have a couple of friends over, and we just chat current events and comics,
that's good stuff. And let's see. Oh, you have the Mexican version of Wolverine. Nice. There are some fun versions out there if you guys go check those out. Like, so you can just get some of them for some pretty good deals too every now and then, but some of them are getting really pricey because they're super limited. Like, amazing. Like what countries are printing out comics and stuff. It's fun to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the European stuff. Like I'm starting to see Americans copy Europeans and not even consciously. It's like they're not even aware of what Europeans are doing, but they're like, yeah, I want my comic to be bigger. I want a hardcover. And have you read Bond Disney? No, why? It's like because you're just like walking down the same path, man. And I love it. I love to see it because comics are even better when they're bigger. It's just you love art. How about having the art even bigger?
Oh,
and
yes.
You like floppies. I got the nostalgic love for floppies. Like my first comic is coming out. It's going to be a floppy. But dude, like if you want your stuff to stay in good condition in your, on your shelf, on your bookshelf, you want a hardcover. You want something that's sturdy, that won't get damaged. Maybe the corners will get bumped in a little bit, but it won't affect the pages inside. And then it starts to feel like a real work of art. It's not a fragile publication because floppies are a derivative of the newspaper era stuff, and still love them because grew up reading those. But I think we were ready to move on now. I think maybe the fact that the comic market in the States, in America, is dying right now. Maybe it's just like the phoenix, right? Maybe it's going to rise from its ashes and turn into books that are going to be available in bookstores like Barnes and Nobles, like mangas are. And maybe we're going to be having like omnibuses with hardcovers and just quality paper and stuff.
It's really interesting to see the evolution of kind of what comics is going, because you can get like the DC Digest right now, which are kind of like a more manga format style of books and a shorter thing, and they're not even $10. You get a whole hunk of books to just go read, because I think that's a lot of people that are trying to come into comics right now. If they want to go into like the Marvel or the DC books, there's such a vast history of those characters that people get lost trying to figure out what books to go purchase and what runs to go follow. And then they don't want to spend like $200-$300 on an Omni, because that's how much some of those cost. Like they're usually $150 out the door.
And it's a terrible thing to read an omnibus. Like I have Wildcats omnibus. I love Jim Lee's art. I think it's the peak of his art in the Wildcats.
Yeah.
But the omnibus is too big. I would have taken like 10% of that. What am I going to carry this huge thing? It's bigger than the Webster's dictionary.
I've been picking up more Omnis lately, but the issue that I have, I love artist editions. The issues I have with
I got
open it,
so many lately.
It's your entire desk. I literally have the Jim Lee X-Men one over there in the box still because I have nowhere to put it. It doesn't fit on a shelf. It won't fit on a coffee table. You can't put it.
Wait till you get the Todd McFarlane one. It's like a couple of inches bigger. It's like,
bigger
Todd,
than that one.
You can't have his as like big as Jim Lee's. Got to be bigger.
Yeah, that's like insane. Let's see.
I got Jim Lee's art edition from his DC days, which includes Wildcats and a lot of his Batman stuff. And it's gorgeous. He's so good. He's so good. And I love the one that you were talking about as well, from his X-Men days, because in the back of it, it covers his art for the cards. So the Marvel cards that they did like in the early 90s, I think 91, 92. And I love those card series. Like they were so dynamic. Jim Lee used to draw those between his X-Men issues.
I've got too many cards in my collection over here, but that's actually how I started getting into comics. I was big into cards in the 80s, like sports cards, and we got into comic cards, and that's how we actually found stuff, because we didn't really have comic shops. I'd say until like mid 90s, it was all card shows, and then the comic vendors would show up to sell cards, comics at the card shows.
Let me spin into some promo stuff real quick, because I've got my second chance campaign coming next week, but the first chance campaign, I got it up to 42K.
Oh, nice.
No, not 42K, 4.2K. Sorry, I'm not. It's crazy.
Listen, but you keep going, you might get there.
Yeah, I might get there. I mean, Salty started. He had a small run on his first one, like 2.6K, and he was disappointed. And the dude kept going and made 5 campaigns and got it up to 35K. So it is possible. You can do it. And I made it a point to have stretch goals. So every $1,000 mark, I put out another trading card. And I made these like really cool trading cards that are like in the Marvel style.
Yes. Right? So, I'm a huge fan of those. I love it. I've got really big into the metal trading cards too.
And you got the stats in the back.
Awesome. No, that's classic stuff. Look at.
I'm sorry about the Zoom. The Zoom is not working right now, but check out my Twitter. I've got the art for all those cards.
Nice. Listen, I'm a fan of cards. Shelby and Andy and I spent like a whole hour unboxing these Batman cards. Listen, we got the dumb stuff here. Listen, check out that Sid card from Nitro. Look at this. Yes, get you some card action. Yeah. No, those are fantastic. Those are great. I like seeing those. Let's see. We got more people popping here.
It's a hoot.
Yes. Yeah, because you also hop on Glitch's stream a lot. What's up, bootlegger?
Yeah, from time to time, and we made a joke because I hadn't been on for a couple of months because after I'd done the campaign, I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break as I was doing so many streams, it wasn't even funny anymore.
Oh, and then you gotta take a break. Yeah.
In late December, in most of January up until early February, I got to work on a website, so I wasn't doing any streams at all. Mm-hmm. And then I came back last week and was on Omer's stream, and he was joking like, "Oh, you once you've done pushing your book, you don't need to come on our streams anymore." Yeah. And it was the funniest thing. And I'm like, "Well, I got another campaign coming up, so you'll be seeing me around more." So
yeah, I did just drop the link right there to the Comic Skater website, so people go check that out as well. So you were involved in. So I want to talk about that for a hot second, like what that's all about exactly.
So yeah, though that came about two bigger guys in the Comicsgate space who kind of came out with their book. Like one was closing the same day that the other was opening, and sparks flew. People were upset, and there was, there's a disturbance in the force, and everyone was talking about we should have a calendar thing. We should have a calendar thing, and the calendar is pretty easy to do. So after I was done the campaign and took a break, played video games, got tired of that. I was like, okay, it's Christmas time. I got nothing on the docket. Let me put together a calendar. So I built this thing I called CG Calendar. And I was like, okay, I've got books now, and then I've got the dates. And if I've got the books, I should have the covers. And if I have the covers, I should have the list of all the people working in it. And it just became this catalog of Comicsgate people. Like, and I use that term loosely because not everyone on there calls themselves Comicsgate. Mm-hmm. Some people work on books of people who are Comicsgate, quote unquote, and they're not. But so it's a loose collection of indie creators online. And I like to think of it like, oh my goodness, there is a fight happening, breaking out.
Oh no!
Yes.
Place your bets.
And so. Yeah, so it became like this whole collection of books, creators, and calendar and covers and stuff like that. And I turned into a fun thing as well. Like you got the cover clash where you can pair covers against each other and like choose which one you prefer, and they get ranked in a leaderboard. I track all the campaigns as well, which is super interesting because I got to look at hundreds of campaigns when doing that and got to learn a couple of things of how people put their campaigns together. Some are very much more thorough than others. And digging up old campaigns as well is really hard. Sometimes you have to go like in Internet Archive because they're just gone. Like after they're a certain amount of time, they just disappear. So you lose trace of that. And then I got to realize some things as well because I had just built. When I started building it, I was like, okay, well, which campaign do you have on which site? And then people were like, well, the amount you're listed on the leaderboard is not right because I had this other campaign and this other campaign. I was like, okay, well, now I have to integrate multiple campaigns. And then I learned a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, oh, okay, so people are building a whole chain of campaigns for books a lot of times. And people are doing it on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Fund My Comic, various stuff. You got Shane Davis, who's got his own website.
There's so many now. Yeah. There's some people that do it off-site on their own websites that they do crowdfunding on. I'm finding even more only digital ones. So if you guys just want to make money, but you already have your campaign, your book is finished, just go put these on these websites because it's just recouping more money for you, especially for shipping, because shipping is insanely costly. And you need these kind of things that are just going to help you like break even most of the time. So,
and I did something really weird because the Ratel story kind of focuses on a character who's into Bitcoin. Yeah. So like Bruce Wayne has a corporation he inherited from his parents who died tragically in an alleyway. And Ratel, he got into Bitcoin early. So naturally, people in the Bitcoin space are interested about this story. And I had a crowdfunder in Bitcoin in parallel using Geyser.fund. And I raised kind of 50-50 on both on my comic and Geyser, which I'm pretty sure I'm the first to raise a comic book there. So that was a fun experiment to do too.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting websites too. I don't know if you heard about Vivi. It's Veve. So it's like an NFT site, but it's also a comic reader. So you open your pack, and then when you open your comic, and you get anywhere between the common to the ultra rare stuff, and you can actually read the comics online, the web browser, but you also can trade it as an NFT, which is quite interesting. I've never ever seen this before, and it's coming up in the last like 2 years, and there's a ton of comics on there that are absolutely phenomenal to see all that stuff. Oh, wait, hang on one second. I want to shout out Rob. Shout out to the Black Sheep comic people. Woo! Bah, that's right. You've just gifted 10 memberships to my channel. So I want to shout out to Tank Ferret, got one. Sheldon got one. Tate got one. Tulsa Comic Con got one. Melbourne got one. Nice Demon Queen and James Kuo got one. Also, Tommy Slovakia got one. So yes, thanks for doing that, Rob. That's amazing. Thank you.
That is cool.
Welcome on in, guys. Yeah. So I want to talk to you more about the Ratel. So let me go to your actual website. We'll show this off, and we can talk about this one because you are launching Second Chance one. Where is the Second Chance one coming in?
Fund My Comic.
Fund My Comic. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Let's go check this out, and then eventually you're going to have the sign up link sometime. I think this week you said you're going to be doing
Saturday. That? So Saturday, look, I'll have it on the home page on the website. It'll be right under the About link. I'll have the Fund My Comic link. I'll just pop up there.
Nice. Yes, we got woos in the chat, and then people are saying thanks to Rob for getting memberships. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, eventually, I'm going to be doing something with this. As I don't like just not having anything. Eventually, I'll be doing a raffle where I'll be giving away one of my own card arts for people that are memberships. So yeah, even if you get a gifted one as well, you're gonna be doing Bitcoin comic too. Nice.
So yeah, I've gone to some Bitcoin conferences. There's some in Montreal. There's some. I was in Nashville in 2000. Oh my God, it's like two years ago. So that would be 2024. Yes. So I was in Nashville 2024. And I even went down to El Salvador to expo some of the art and sold 2 of the original pages down in El Salvador. So that was crazy, crazy fun. Because they have the whole, awesome. Yeah, they adopted Bitcoin as an official currency there.
That's awesome. Like, I don't think people realize the reach of actual Comic Cons. There's like huge ones in South Africa that people go to that are like insanely popular. There's ones in Abu Dhabi. There are some in Taiwan, Japan, South Korea. You're getting cons like pretty much in every country now, which is amazing. And I love seeing that. Some start out as like the local people because they're starting to make actual comics in other countries. But yeah, I see people here go to Japan to sell their books, which I think is absolutely amazing. And I love seeing that. So yeah.
I love that. I love that spirit.
It's so awesome. I love that kind of thing. Yeah. So here's your book here. I'm going to go to your sample pages because I can show off some of the covers that you had before and some of the interior artwork. Listen, I had to go with this one for the cover because, listen, Akira homage.
It's everyone's favorite.
That's blowing up all over the places with the Akira homages. But yeah, you got to have a bike, something.
I had someone approach me because this cover, you can't get it anymore. It was a special limited time for when I was closing out the campaign in December.
Nice.
And so you won't be able to get it anymore. But I've had people reach out to me who are not even into comics, and they're just like, I just collect Akira homages.
Yeah.
So I want it because it's an Akira homage, and I was like, well, I'm sorry, the window is closed for this, but maybe you can get it secondhand. So
it is so amazing to me what people collect in comics. There are people that don't read comics that collect comics specifically because it has something to do with the movie. All of the Prince homage covers from his movie, people collect those bananas. Anything to do with Akira, I have people that only collect ASM 300 homages. Like there's literally collectors that only collect that just to collect the books. It is so interesting to me, like who collects what and why. I think that is absolutely fascinating. And as you were saying before too, it is really like as an indie creator, like even myself, I probably spend weekly, if not daily, on every crowdfunding platform just to see what campaigns are going to be launching or what books are out there, but also people's tiers. like what people are actually selling. But also it's interesting to me, like when you go and do that, which is the most popular thing that's selling on a campaign. And I think it's interesting to me that most of the time when you go and look at that, it's usually the art tiers that are selling and digital comics that are outselling everything else right now, just because shipping is dumb. And a lot of times you can't get shipped to because it's US only a lot of the times, or US or Canada only. So a lot of the people are coming just to back the digital comics, which I think is fabulous, because if you're just trying to back something just to read it, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I am like honoring the trading card collectible tiers. So even if you back the digital copy of the comic, I will still send you trading cards in the mail. So
fun. Nice. And then this is one of your other covers. So are all these covers here from the first campaign? Are they not going to be available, or just the Akira not going to be available on
the Akira is the only one that's not going to be available. This one is a pinup. It's not a cover per se, unless I make it one, but my printer already said I have too many covers. So
that's a thing too. I don't think people realize, like, you want to keep that limited, especially if you're doing like your first book, because that will get pricey in no time.
Yeah. Holy moly. The book's not cheap. I'm selling it $21, so it's not a cheap book, but hopefully you'll appreciate the art and the time that went into it.
Yeah.
Got beautiful colors by Ross the Red.
Nice.
Ross Campbell.
Let's see.
Blue Shack Comics.
Oh, I like Blue Shack Comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me leave this up here, and then explain to people what Ratel is all about. Let's get some more details.
Yeah. So, I mean, the easiest way to get into it is kind of like comparing it to Batman, right? So Bruce Wayne has a corporation that he uses to kind of fund his tools and his gadgets to fight crime. Ratel is kind of a computer geek. I call him like a computer whiz. And he kind of got aware of all the scam stuff that happens around the banks and the money system. And he became a big Bitcoiner. He tried to hack the banks and fight back in other ways, and he got caught. And then he gets thrown in the slammer for about 10 years. But he hangs on to his Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, for people who don't know, you can actually hold it in your mind with a series of 10 words, kind of like a password, right? So if you memorize 12 words, you can come out later, get access to a computer, and then you can have access to all the wealth that you've accumulated on that address. And that's what he does. So after, making a mistake, getting caught, paying the price for it, he comes out and he's super wealthy, and he's kind of a DIY kind of guy. So he starts building his own crime fighting tools. So a superhero book that feels a little bit of like a sci-fi, a lot of technology, but all the technology that exists is actually real world technology. So you won't see a lot of people flying around on drones like this, but it does happen. Some people have done it. You can see it on TikTok, on Twitter, and things like that. So it's one of those, taking the most interesting things that are happening in the world, amping it up, giving it a superhero flair. And the supervillains are kind of like straight out of we got a Medusa character. We got a bankman, evil overlord who owns all the banks in Montreal. We've got a Russian spy who's kind of like switching sides during the story. So a lot of a kind of like battling the system kind of vibe. So a little bit of a hacker ethos, hacker spirit, and just a lot of fun.
Nice. Look at this. Oh, I love it when people really show off like architecture in books, because I'm a huge fan of that. Some of my favorite things when I go to a new city is just hunt down the weird architecture.
So that is a real prison on the island of Montreal.
Oh, whoa.
It's based on a prison in the States. I think it's in Cincinnati or something. I'm not really good with those, the city names and all that. But so the creator of this prison based it on an American prison that existed. He had studied French architecture and came back to Montreal to build this. And this was the English were like putting away French patriots in the prisons at such a high rate that they had filled all the other existing prisons. And this is like 100 or so years ago. And people on the island were like scandalized by this modern prison that they had built, because they had working plumbing. So the prisoners would have toilets you could flush, which a lot of the inhabitants of the island didn't even have. So they were
Wow.
calling it a luxury prison, which is funny to look back on today. But yeah, it was during the time where they were jailing patriots. So it's kind of a nice echo to it as well.
Yeah, very neat. Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of that. I when I go to Toronto, I think that's one of the fun things to do is because they have some amazing architecture and they have some of the coolest old like Gothic churches that are there. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
some of my favorite things to just hunt down and look at when I see like a new city.
Yeah, you got to go look at them because they're tearing them down every year.
They are.
We lost hundreds this year. Yeah.
Yeah. It still looks like you're not wrong. It still looks like I love the way that was looking. It just very pretty. Just something about it, like sundial-y or like something that was just really interesting.
Yeah, and they're all different wings. So you have a central tower in the middle, where the guard can surveil all the different wings of the jail that all connect at the center. So it's very interesting. I had a friend of mine who actually went to that jail, and I was able to ask him questions and get a feel of what it was like on the inside as a bit of research. Here we have a made up franchise that doesn't exist.
It should exist. How's nobody ever coming up with this? Poutine on the Ritz. How's nobody ever come up with a poutine place named that? Like what? Yes.
For real. So, like all comic books, I think it's part of the world building. You don't want to use like McDonald's or like Burger King or existing franchises because you get into legal tangles and stuff like that. And it's always like it makes people smile, especially when you have a nice twist on the name like that. Yeah. And that just came up as an idea, and I was like, well, it's got to be poutine because it's Quebec. So I want people to know where they are in the story and to feel the culture a little bit. So there's a taste.
Awesome. You got to have that. No, that's kind of fun stuff that I like seeing. Oh, look at this. Okay, let me zoom in even more because there's a little bit of the menu back there. Joe, you're going to like this. Let me see.
Yeah, the menu gets covered up by dialogue, so you might want to save this image.
Save it. Look at it now.
Yeah.
Nice.
So poutine spag is, so instead of putting brown sauce, you put spaghetti sauce over your fries and cheese. Galput is that's galvaude poutine. So you got little green, what do you call the green little round things? Peas.
Green round things. Peas or there's a couple of green little round things.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm a loss for words for that. And poutinium is actually something friends of mine came up with, which is onion rings that are fried and then are turned into poutine with like honey on sauce on top.
That would be good.
Yeah, that's just insane.
That'd be good. Yes, poutine on the Ritz is hilarious. And pickle slices is asking Sheldon is asking about that.
No, I haven't seen any of those. No.
Okay.
Can't say
I love the silhouette with the person in the background that just got the spatula.
Yeah, you got the cook working in the background.
Yeah. Nice. So this is very cool. So you're launching. Here's some more. I like the inked pages too. I like to see that. Nice.
Yeah, I love seeing the process. I'm a big fan of like learning how people do their stuff. So a lot of my friends were like, you should put those on the page, put the whole process on there. If you scroll down, you have pencils as well. So
sweet.
I had flats. I took out the flats. The flats are too much, but it's fun to see. I love seeing the whole thing with other artists. I find you learn a little bit by looking at it through those eyes, and it's a lot of fun. And some people accuse me of using 3D assets. It's been a whole drama thing online. So it's easy to debunk it when you have the pencils. And most of the comic was like drawn on stream as well. So like on my YouTube show on Tuesdays, I'm always working on some of the pages. So and I did use references. So the first panel of the prison, that was actually a Google Earth reference.
Oh, okay.
So you zoom in on Google Earth, they have a lot of cities they have totally built in 3D now. So you can like zoom in on the place. You can turn your camera exactly where you want at the angle you want, and you get the exact shot you want. You screenshot it. And so I was able to pinpoint exactly the camera where I wanted. we have access to such good resources nowadays.
Yes. And, people need to be taking advantage of those big time.
Yeah. And there's photographic reference as well.
Yeah.
In terms of vehicles, I buy little toy models of the vehicles that are recurring, just to make sure I have, an accurate accurate version of it, so it's always exactly the same model.
Nice. All right, Harold, let me get back up to the top, and I'm going to go back to your homepage so you can see this cool, like this image here. I'm going to drop some more of your links that are in the chat so people can go check it out. So if you are here, this right here will take you to the website that I was just on, so you can go check it out and go follow him all over the place so that you can go get the link to the new campaign that's going to be launching on Saturday for your Second Chance campaign. So that's going to be interesting. So what other new things you're going to have on the Second Chance campaign?
So I'm thinking of adding I have little pins, little Ratel logo pins that I've made that are like kind of like got this gold ring around it, and they're like silkscreen printed on top of actual the blue is kind of like I'd have to refer to the description of the item, which I don't have here, but I have these gorgeous, hold on, let me go get it.
Okay.
It'll be real quick, but it's worth it. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Okay. Well, you do that, and then I am just dropping links in here. And while you're doing that, I'm also going to go find somebody to raid as you're looking for stuff. Let's see. Who is on? Whoa. Let's see. I guess you guys can go to Nerdy Musings. They do a bunch of Yevgeny and Vic and a bunch of other guys are on there. They're usually on there doing some art stuff. See, Ratel the flamethrower, the kids are gonna love it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's great for the winter when you want to clear out your driveway.
Yeah. Now let me stop do this, and then let's make us here, and then let me make you the big so you can show these off. Yeah. Oh, wait, put it. Oh, okay, those are pretty neat. Yeah, they look nice. I like the little peak of the orange in there.
Camera, can you zoom, please, camera? Zoom out.
It's a little logo that you had, yeah.
It is. It's the Ratel logo, and it's kind of it's made by BTC Pins. So it's a company, a guy in California who does all the Bitcoin logos as pins. And so I had a bunch of these made, and they're absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they look really great.
They're not blurry in real life. That's the
not blurry. Yes.
Ah, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, getting things to zoom in and not blurs is.
Well, it's automatic, so you have to wait for the camera to wake up.
Yeah, let's see. Tank is saying he needs a copy of the song he used for Ratel. He's uploading a YouTube short of a time-lapse drawing. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that is A Wizard is a Fool by Anonymal. And I think I sent it to you, the link. It's on one of those Bitcoin wave something. Wave Lake. I think it's Wave Lake. So if you go on Wave Lake and search for Anonymal, you will find it. Wizard is a Fool is the name of the song.
Yes, there it is. And then Cran is also saying that he likes to look up your pages. Yeah, they look great.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
It's in there somewhere. You'll find it. But yeah, this is right here, the song.
Yeah.
But yes. You don't know.
So
awesome.
I met the guy in El Salvador as well. And he's another Bitcoin creator from South America, just making really good rock music on themes of Bitcoin. So when I wanted something to work thematically, like same with the colorist. The colorist is another Bitcoiner. And I was able to pay him in Bitcoin for the whole production of the book too. So everything, I try to keep the theme really on point throughout the production. So it's something you really, people who are, if you're not into Bitcoin, don't worry. It's not the main focus of it. It's about a person, an interesting character who goes through life changes and fights for justice. So you'll get those traditional kind of superhero values. But for people who are into the Bitcoin lore, you will find a lot of little nods and Easter eggs I think you'll appreciate.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Let's see. I know we're almost up to an hour. I did select Nerdy Musings as a person I'm going to change. I also know that Sumo was happening in about an hour, so go check out Angela Curry's channel for that. But before we get out of here, do you have any other? Are you doing cons yet? Have you gone to cons so far?
No, not yet. I will be going for the Fans Fest in Atlantic City in October.
Okay.
So we'll probably have comics there. So for people who are in the space and want to be there, hopefully I'll still have copies there. I plan on going to Bitcoin conferences, and I'd love to do comic book conferences, but I got to figure out the logistics of coming down from Canada and all that.
Yeah. Well, there's some really good, decent ones, like all up in Canada. I know a bunch of people that go to like the Toronto Niagara ones. In even the Ottawa cons, there's some really awesome. I actually have people that go from New York to the Ottawa cons because they're just like super close, which is
interesting.
Like,
yeah, Ottawa's
is
really close.
Yeah.
It's about it's 6 hours from here.
Yeah, that's not super bad at all, especially when we're trying to go into like other places.
Yeah, Ottawa's really close. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good stuff. So when else do you do your streaming again? What days do you do that?
So Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, we got about a 2-hour show where I do a lot of live art. It's like an art cam, and I got friends like Wrangler here in the chat who is my co-host, and we just talk to other comic book creators, and we have James Esparza as well, who's got a book cam, and he'll review comics from time to time.
Nice.
Give them a rating, and if they're not good, sometimes they get the shredder, and so that's a bit terrifying.
Oh, that's exciting. I like that.
It is.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. You need to have that in your life sometimes.
Yeah, you need some stakes. It makes things more interesting, as you say.
You gotta have the excitement, especially when in comics. That's right. Yeah, no, that's fun. I like that.
And if you want to have your book or your creator page on Comicsgator, you can create your own account and add it yourself. It's pretty accessible. And if you need help with anything, just contact me on Twitter, and I'll be happy to help you do that.
Definitely. And I have all those links down below in the description. And then whenever you get your other link, I'll go share it around as well.
Awesome.
We have that on there.
Thank you so much.
Steaks are delicious. Listen,
yes.
Give you some steaks. They're great. Don't shred your steaks though. Unless you want a good like shredded beef sandwich. Those are good. So yeah, go check him out. Go follow him on all the channels. Also, you'll be on like Glitch's channel sometime doing art and all that stuff. But I think I've got bacon cooking slowly, so I'm gonna go make me a giant bacon sandwich. Is what I'm about to do.
Oh, nice.
Yes, very excited for this. It smells heavenly in my house right now. But yeah, let's get out of here so we can go with some of that. And thanks to everybody that has thanks to Rob and thanks to Wrangler for doing the super chatty things and memberships. So yeah, let's get out of here.
Thanks so much.
You guys.
Take care.
Also coming up on Friday, I will be having Sweeney Boo on. We're gonna go over her book as well. So yeah, come check it out. Yes. Bye guys.
Cool.